Welcome to A New View. We are Restored Ministries, and this week's episode, we're going to try and tackle social media debates.
Tackle is a good word.
Yeah,
We're going to tackle that.
We're going to tackle that one. And this is so funny because y'all are probably thinking, social media debates, that's everything. That's everything we seem to see these days. But some of them get a little out of hand. Some of them get a lot out of hand. And I have a kind of a policy myself that I don't engage in the debates. You know, you can disagree with me, that's great, but when you cross over to the disrespectful part of it, then I'm done. I'm done. And then if you keep on, then, I'll delete your comments just because I don't think that it's wise for everybody to see those comments, because I think it could entice, because you'll see, you have other friends that want to come to defend you, and then they jump in, and then it just gets to be a train wreck. And so I'm like, no, I'll delete them. If you keep on, then I will block. I will block and unfriend. And I've actually gotten people, I had a little social media debate because I shared something and people didn't agree with it, and some people did, and it just got out of hand. Then they started in Messenger. When you don't engage with them regularly, then they started in Messenger. And it was really crazy. I mean, it was like, just to be honest with y'all, I'm going to hell. It was just like crazy.
Can you give an example a little bit? Because I think people tend to need a little bit of an example.
Yeah.
And it's on your personal page?
Yeah, on my personal, this was not my ministry page. Yeah.
So a little more of an
example. This was on my personal page. And so then people would message me, and then it was just like, I was like, really? This is
And to be clear, this is in particular a positive message that people had a little disagreement with a part of what the person had said in the message. So it's not that you posted something crazy. I expected everyone to just be accepting of it.
Yeah. I don't think it was anything wrong with what she said, but I think that's where they shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
It was, they didn't agree with this lady's lifestyle. I didn't agree with everything about this particular person, but I knew that the message was a solid message of love. And so that's why I shared it, and I know it helped a lot of people. But so that's really kind of how these social media debates, because on our ministry page and everything like that, I don't tolerate any of that nonsense. I delete, I have things in place. But even on my personal page, though, it just gets to be too much. And so some people just want to debate because that's how they spread hate. They're not happy. They're sitting there and they're just, and I even have actually, at first I thought, I'm going to unfriend this new friend. Because every time he posted something, it was like, shock. And then I realized he has this kind of off sense of humor that he's doing that because he's kind of shock and awe, because he's waiting to see what's going to happen. I'm thinking that would make my blood pressure go up a little too much every day. So I wouldn't want to do that. But it is funny how he does that. And so when I caught on to him, now I can give him a response it's really off the wall and stuff. So we have fun on that. But so I got a lot of flack that I was being unloving when I came on and said, if you get cray-cray, that's it. I'm done. I'll delete you. I'll block you. I'm not putting up with this. I'm just not. You can disagree. If you disagree respectfully, that's fine. You start to be disrespectful. You start to go off the rails. That's it. I'm done. And so I read this post just recently by this gentleman named Mark Henriksen. And I'm not sure if we're connected online, if it was a friend of his. And his motto is he deletes them, blocks them, unfriends them. He doesn't give them any things. And I thought, this guy's speaking my language, because that's exactly what I think. And he said it so beautifully. Two things that I wanted to touch, because when you go into those debates, the bigger problem is the collateral damage to the innocent people that witness the impassioned venting.
People who aren't just scrolling, I'm not even partaking in this.
Yes, these are people that are reading the comments, and then they're hearing this person's comment, and they're hearing that person's comment. And we all are not surrounded by like-minded people. Jesus wasn't.
Absolutely.
And so I have people in my friendship that are not believers, that are new believers, that don't know, that have been wounded by religion and different things like that. So then when they see these people that have pastor next to their name, or apostle or evangelist, like that, and they're venting this stuff, of course that's collateral damage, because then they're going to think again that all Christians are hypocrites and that this is a big problem. And so the guy also goes on to say, he says, the bully pulpit seems to know no ethics. We know that. We will see, I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, we've seen about, Lauren Daigle didn't answer a question the way everybody thought she should answer it.
It's beautiful.
We pray for her. Joel Osteen didn't answer that question either years ago. And I think those reporters are trying to get that. And so it's crazy, but everybody has an opinion about that. So then that's what sparks all these social media debates. Well, there's not anything loving in there. And so I love what he says. And so he goes on to say, we've all seen this in the public arena recently. Were any of us inspired? Were we repulsed? I'm going to guess that we felt the latter, even to the point where we want to switch off. I know for me, sometimes I want to, I've said, I joke, go full on Mr. Bean. I'm like, I can't handle this. So I have really found that you're in charge of your news feed on Facebook.
Oh,
you're in charge of it. If there's somebody that's gritching all day long, unfollow them. You don't have to block them or unfriend them. Unfollow them so you're not getting their drama every single day.
Right.
If somebody is asking for money, that seems to be a big one when you're in ministry, is someone that's constantly asking. I mute those messages in Messenger. I unfollow them. It's not that, I'm not willing to give, but I mean, I have a lot of issues. We have a lot of needs in our community that we give to. And so I think it's, I'm not going to, entertain that. Set the tools that you need, for that. Because ultimately, this is what I love when he says it, because I don't know where it is exactly, but he's talking about that, Facebook is our turf. It's our real estate. We can make it as cheerful and engaging and exciting and uplifting as we want, or we can share every hateful, fear-mongering, engage in every social media debate. So that's kind of my take on it. So really, I guess to come back to social media debates, how do we handle it? I just don't engage in the hate.
And for me, I see conversation as an art form. So I really do enjoy having conversations with people. And I also enjoy engaging in conversations where I don't agree. Because I feel that's a way to learn.
Yes.
Like if you surround yourself with people who feel the same way you do about all issues, it's hard to grow. So it's nice to be surrounded, like, I never thought about it that way.
Right.
Let me think about that. But for me, I want my social media to be an extension of my social life. So, and the rule I have for my social life is that I surround myself with people who make me a better person.
Right.
That's it. So that's the test for social media too. Like if I'm going through and your post brings me joy, challenges me, makes me question something, gives in, feeds into my life in a positive way, then fantastic. But if I look and someone is consistently complaining, of being a drain, I'll hide that person.
Yeah.
Because it's not making me a better person.
Right.
So I don't always agree with people on my page, but I always respect them.
Right.
I always respect them, and I do enjoy it if someone says, "Hey, what thoughts do you have on this?" Or
now I do like that. If you can be respectful in your debate, I'm all for that, because different perspectives what make us grow.
Right.
That's why we do a new view, is because we're not always going to have the same thing. So I love that. Yeah.
But I will say, like, if I see conflict and I care. Sometimes I'll see conflict, like, woo, we'll just keep on scrolling.
Yes, I'm not going there.
But if I see conflict and I care, first I'll stop and I'll pray for that person. Like, hold on, what's going on here? Let me pray for you. And then typically I won't add to the conversation, but I am more of an introvert that way, but I will message them, hey, just support you. And I don't engage if it's something that, doesn't interest me, but also too, that I'll tend to hide those people. Because again, if they don't bring out the best in me, this is part of my social life. This is not something I think that's totally separate. Because I think these days, your social life extends to your social media pages. So I just go ahead and say, hey, if you're not making me a better person,
That's true. That's good. What do you think
Interesting.
about social media?
You got me thinking.
Social.
So just for fun, I have 2 verses real quick. Ecclesiastes, not just because it applies, but because I really like saying that word. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools.
That's so good.
I don't want to reside in the lap of fools, so I really want to think about that.
Good.
I'll backspace a lot
good.
when I
Yes,
should.
yes.
When I,
You can type it, but then take a pause.
after you sit in the lap, you back it up and get
But be careful, because sometimes you hit send by accident.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Don't do that.
That's true.
And 2 Timothy, don't have anything to do with foolish and stupid arguments because you know they produce quarrels.
Exactly.
It is true. So many times I'll be like, oh, but there's something you can validly add to this, but you know that no matter
They're not
what, somebody's so not
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it. So for me, I'm looking at this saying, okay, how many times you see something or you know somebody who you actually know them and they're good people, they make sense, you have things in common, all this and that, but then they're on social media saying stuff that you're like, what? And they're still good people, but it sort of changes your perspective. Well, and you're like, how do they think that? That's crazy or something, right? So my old boss, he always said, we always look at corporate and the decisions they're making and we're like, why are they doing this? He's like, every time there's something seems totally stupid or just doesn't make any sense at all, there's something you don't know.
Yeah.
So even if what that person has seen isn't necessarily right or would never be right in your world, it's what made it right for them. So if we just look at it from that place of understanding, it doesn't ever have to make sense for me.
That's good.
I like that.
That's good stuff. Well, we hope that if you start to get into a social media debate, that you will pause, that you will think of the verses that Kim shared, that you will also think of what Marina shared and said, is this something I can post now? Or maybe I take it to Messenger and just say, hey, I'm concerned a little bit.
Not.
Or maybe nothing. Maybe you do like me and you just kind of like, no, keep going. And you just don't engage in that. But we hope that you have gotten a new view on social media debates, that you have thought, that is exactly what's been going on. Maybe I should step back and take myself out of them. Everything doesn't require a response from us. So we just hope that you've encouraged our episode on social media debates, and we would love for you to #share your view of a new view. Take care.